Aging adults often suffer from pelvic floor dysfunction. The pelvic floor is primarily made up of thick skeletal muscles with nearby ligaments. Did you hear that? Your pelvic floor muscles are skeletal muscles. That's a type of muscle that IBM attacks. I've never heard or read any authority claim that there is a connection between pelvic floor dysfunction and inclusion body myositis, but also recognize that there is a lot the medical community doesn't know about IBM. Your pelvic floor muscles help stabilize your core while assisting with essential bodily functions like pooping and peeing. Your pelvic floor muscles hold the major organs in your pelvis in place and protect them. Muscle control, the ability to squeeze and relax your pelvic floor muscles, helps remove waste from your body. Pelvic floor muscles help coordinate the function that carries pee out of your body and the organ where the stools pass. Since we shouldn't have to think about keeping those two functions shut off at all times, one might surmise that the pelvic floor muscles help keep orifices normally closed. To allow evacuation of waste, the pelvic floor must relax. Relaxing these muscles widens the passages so that you can pee or poop. The pelvic floor muscles can weaken over time due to injury, a medical condition like maybe inclusion body myositis, and even by the normal aging process. This leads to conditions like incontinence or unintended leakage. Along with other key muscle groups in your torso, your pelvic floor muscles allow your body to absorb outside pressure from lifting while coughing and sneezing and even falling, while as it protects your spine and other bodily function organs, while at the same time helps you control your bowel and bladder functions. This disorder corresponds to either increased activity or hypertonicity or diminished activity, hypotonicity, and inappropriate coordination of the pelvic floor muscles. The Cleveland Clinic states that pelvic floor dysfunction is the inability to correctly relax and coordinate your pelvic floor muscles to have a bowel movement. Symptoms include constipation, straining to defecate, having urine or stool leakage, or experiencing a frequent need to pee. When muscles are unable to relax, you may need special pelvic exercises to help treat the tension. Exercising your pelvic floor muscles can combat the negative effects of having weaker, stiffened pelvic floor muscles. If you are having incontinence problems, a trip to your family doctor might result in a referral to a physical therapist who can prescribe easy and well-documented exercises that might help with your pelvic muscles that may be causing your constipation or waste leakage. During an IBM journey, the IBMer is faced with getting less exercise to the pelvic floor muscles region as a result of minimizing the risk of falling. Falling is a major concern for most people with IBM, but an inactive lifestyle can cause the pelvic floor muscles to become dormant because they are not being stretched during activity times. If the pelvic floor muscles become dormant, they will not be able to relax as they should for proper functions required when going to the bathroom. I'm not going to bore you about this subject, as I'm sure you have as many questions on your mind about this topic than you have answers. You might be asking, what's a population of IBMers with incontinence problems of all types caused by pelvic floor dysfunction, and if no one knows, why won't the Myositis Association want to query that information to help people cope with inclusion body myositis? People who are bedridden fail to get adequate exercise to prevent their pelvic floor muscles from atrophy and shortening. Muscle atrophy occurs when the muscles become thin and weak. The muscles shorten when they are not stretched or moved. Exercises that stretch and strengthen the muscles help prevent or minimize these complications, though some exercises require assistance from a caregiver. I'm not going to leave those instructions of which type of exercises to you, but leave it to you and your caregiver or physical therapist. What causes pelvic floor dysfunction? Well, traumatic injuries to your pelvic area, like a car accident, overusing your pelvic muscles, like going to the bathroom too often or pushing too hard, eventually leads to poor muscle coordination. Being overweight and advancing age or having a muscle disease could also be the cause. Other health issues may cause bladder and or bowel dysfunction, including medicinal side effects, stress, neurological diseases, diabetes, and hemorrhoids. When checking the internet, you'll find that biofeedback, pelvic floor exercises, and medications are the 3 non-surgical treatments listed on several sites. Which one is the best suited for the person with IBM? And finally, in an attempt to be able to stand up from a toilet, many IBMers purchase devices to raise their seated position on the toilet. When looking at the recommended sitting position for taking a good poop, any raised position where your hips are even with your knees or higher is not recommended. So if you have IBM and need assistance standing up from a toilet, a hoist or lift seat to help you up that allows you to sit with your knees higher than your hips would be recommended for regular use. Yes, the portable toilet riser is acceptable for occasional use, let's say while visiting outside the home, but probably it's not the best bet for full-time use, just in terms of getting good evacuation of waste during your bathroom trips. If you are questioning whether you might have pelvic floor dysfunction, contact a healthcare provider at your earliest convenience. Early treatment can help improve your quality of life and help with the inconvenient and sometimes uncomfortable symptoms. Your IBM may be here to stay, but you may be able to do something about a pelvic floor dysfunction condition. As I've said many other times, it's very important to take care of all your comorbidities that may have suitable treatment. If you are not a subscriber to this channel, please join more than 1,400 other people interested in inclusion body myositis.